Welcome to today's Explainer. We've got something really exciting to dig into today. We are taking a massive cultural shift that is happening right now over in Japan, and we're translating it into highly actionable insights specifically for American businesses. We're talking about a phenomenon that has literally completely transformed how companies think about products, marketing, and customer loyalty. So, let's jump right in.
Just a quick look at our roadmap for this Explainer. We're going to meet the fandom economy, look at Japan's $27 billion market, unpack the power of emotion, explore some pretty unexpected industries joining in, and finally, we'll apply these marketing principles directly to the American fashion sector.
All right, Section 1, Meet the Fandom Economy.
To really get this, we have to start with a fundamental question. Why do people become passionate enough to support something? Think about some familiar behaviors we see all the time right here in America. Why do we eagerly buy Taylor Swift concert merch? Why do we collect NBA jerseys, wear Marvel gear, or, frankly, wait in line for hours just for a limited edition sneaker release? For the longest time, businesses just ask, well, what should we sell? But this new consumer shift, it actually forces us to ask why people support things in the very first place.
And that brings us to this formalized concept from Japan known as oshi-katsu. Basically, it translates to fandom activities, but trust me, it is so much more than a hobby. It's the act of passionately supporting something you genuinely love. When consumers engage in oshi-katsu, they aren't really buying a physical product at all. They're actually purchasing emotional experiences and a profound sense of belonging. It essentially brings a formal structure to this whole idea of passion-driven spending, where the focus completely shifts away from basic necessities and moves toward experiences that just make people happy.
Section 2, Japan's $27 billion market. Let's talk numbers.
Take a look at this staggering number, $27 billion US. That is the estimated worth of Japan's fandom economy today. And the participation rate? It's just as wild. Nearly 20 million people in Japan participate in some form of fandom-related purchasing. To put that into perspective, this is absolutely no longer a niche underground hobby. It's a massive, passion-driven consumer market that literally dictates trends across entertainment, tourism, retail, and tech.
And what's crazy is that it goes way beyond traditional entertainment. Yes, obviously you have music artists, sports teams, and anime characters, but people are also applying this intense level of fandom to fashion brands, local communities, tourist destinations, museums, and get this, even their neighborhood coffee shops. This proves that emotional spending spans everyday lifestyle and retail sectors. It is not just pop culture anymore.
Okay, Section 3, the power of emotion.
The absolutely crucial point here is understanding the difference between these two concepts. So traditionally, marketing focuses heavily on functional value. Things like durability, usability, basic necessities. But the fandom economy, it operates almost entirely on emotional value. Consumers want to create memories. They want to express their identity. And they definitely want to share experiences on social media. They aren't buying the item, they're buying the feeling of supporting someone or something they care deeply about.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates that exact shift, the acrylic stand phenomenon. Now in Japan, these are small, pretty inexpensive collectible figures of favorite characters or celebrities. But here's the catch. Fans don't just put them on a shelf at home. No way. They bring them on vacations, they take them to restaurants and to sporting events, they photograph them and post them online to create memories. Manufacturers are actually improving these stands, making slimmer edges, using clearer materials, not to make them sturdier, but specifically so they look better in social media photos. Think about that. Product development has literally evolved to prioritize Instagram aesthetics over basic usability. It's wild.
Moving on to Section 4, unexpected industries joining in.
Now, if you think this is just a gold mine for toy makers and event promoters, prepare for a pretty surprising pattern interrupt. Traditional B2B industries are entering this fandom market, and they're doing it entirely by applying their existing expertise to completely different customer segments. For example, electronics manufacturers are using flexible circuit board tech to make illuminated fan signs. Fragrance companies, they're creating custom scents inspired by fictional characters and athletes, tapping right into the power of smell to create powerful emotional memories. And printing companies are using compact tech to let fans print highly exclusive, personalized stickers right there at events.
To give you a clear microstory of this in action, just consider a traditional woodworking company. These guys had absolutely no connection to entertainment. Zero. But they realized they could apply their existing laser cutting technology to produce premium wooden fan merchandise. The natural texture created this gorgeous luxury feel, and soon enough, professional sports teams were ordering custom products directly from them. It perfectly highlights a core principle of innovation. New markets are often created not by new technology, but by clever new applications of existing technology. Section 5. Marketing through emotional connection. The golden rule we need to pull from this is that fans often prioritize emotional satisfaction over price. This is a market driven by passion rather than discounts. And honestly, this is a real game changer for modern retail. When the experience itself becomes the product, consumers will literally save money elsewhere in their lives just so they can participate in their fandom. For businesses, this means you are insulated from that exhausting race-to-the-bottom struggle of constant price discounting.
Finally, Section 6, applying oshi-katsu to fashion. Let's make this actionable.
So, how do we actually bring this home to the American business landscape? Well, if you're running a fashion brand, you can no longer just sell clothing. You really need to cultivate an intense emotional attachment. Here's a concrete, step-by-step roadmap directly derived from the fandom economy. Step 1. Highlight the personalities behind the brand, your popular designers, or even influential store associates. Give fans someone real to support. Step 2. Create signature brand colors that act as unifying symbols. Step 3. Shift away from standard sales to hosting exclusive VIP live stream events and limited edition drops. And Step 4. Actively build and nurture online communities where your customers can share styling ideas and experiences. That generates highly valuable, organic word-of-mouth marketing.
And the business return on investment for doing all this, it's undeniable. When you build a brand around emotional engagement instead of just competing on price, you get way higher customer loyalty and increased repeat purchases. You create stronger demand for limited editions because, as we know, scarcity increases perceived value. You generate organic customer referrals, and crucially, you achieve much less dependence on discounting. All of that ultimately leads to vastly improved gross margins and long-term profitability.
I want to leave you with this final, incredibly important thought. The next time you sit down to look at your business strategy, don't just ask, what product am I selling? Instead, ask yourself this: what emotion am I creating? Because as this $27 billion fandom economy proves, transforming emotion into value is the absolute ultimate key to building a brand that customers will passionately support. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and I really hope this shift in perspective sparks some incredible innovation for your own work.